Hey guys, welcome everyone to the stream. This evening we are going to watch a match from the Gomoku Euroleague, a match between the teams Mind Infinity and Wild Dragons. It should be very exciting. Both teams are quite good, I would say. Mind Infinity was champions 2 years ago, and Wild Dragons is also top 5 team for sure. I don't know who's going to win, especially that I can see that Matis showed up, whom I did not expect previously, which means that this match can easily be very tight. I'm thinking that the lineups are going to be Ashat Avetisyan from Armenia, Matis Rihertz from Latvia, Mikhail Lomakin from Russia, from Mind Infinity, and I'm not really sure who's here from Wild Dragons, but I would say probably Lukas Socek is going to start, Georgromet Topkin is going to start, and either Martin Höbemagi or Igor Agat is going to be the third player in the team. Pretty sure it's going to be very exciting and very interesting. I don't think I have streamed Euroleague much before, maybe once or perhaps not even once. It's a bit longer. The time control is 7 minutes plus 3 seconds Fisher increment from this season. Previously it was 10 plus 3. And we shall see. It's still pretty much blitz, but the whole match should last around 2 hours maybe. Apparently Ashat and Matis are playing some warm-up game, so it seems. Oh, it's a private table. Okay then. Until then, maybe let's just check the actuals. So after the second round, um, we have 5 teams with max points. We have Czech Payback, Serial Chillers, Dark Team, Wild Dragons, and Asian Team. So Serial Chillers is my team. We have played with Dark Team, the champions of the previous year. We lost that match. Czech Payback and Asian Team are playing right now, whilst Wild Dragons are playing with Mind Infinity uh, in a couple of minutes, hopefully. Mind Infinity has already lost in the second round against Dark Team. We can see the results here. It was a tight match, 10.5, 7.5. Ashot scored 4 points out of 6 games, that's pretty good. On the other side, Adrian Fitzerman scored 5 points out of 6, that's even better. Here Matis did not play, but he is listed here in the lobby, so there is a very good chance that he can actually play in this match, for which I'm looking forward to. And what's left is only to see the pairings of the first round. I think I will try and open all 3 tables, ever since, for maybe those that are not familiar with the format, in Euroleague from this season, teams are playing 3 versus 3. Of course, substitutions are possible, 2 substitutions per match. And there's round robin, so everyone plays with everyone, 2 games. I mean, in this 3v3 format. So I suppose the captains are arranging the pairings, and we can see it hopefully very soon. Maybe until they start the match. Those that are already here in the stream, you can maybe tell me your thoughts about this match, who you think can win. I think this match can go both ways, actually all three ways, because draw is also possible. I'm hoping for a very tight, exciting match, preferably decided by the very last game. That would be, of course, the most exciting scenario. But I also know that personally, whenever the opponent is Ashot and his team and he's preparing the pairings, I mean, he likes to take his time. For some reason, creating the pairings takes several minutes for Ashot, but hopefully we will hurry up a bit this time, and then we can see the match. Splendid. We already have the pairings of the first round. Let's see the starting threes. It's Mikhail Lomakin, aka Mikla, versus Ancient Dragon, who I think is Igor Agad, but let me real quick check. I'm maybe not that fluent with the dragon nicknames. But yes, Ancient Dragon is Igor Agad. Let's see who else. We have Ashot against Dragon Boner, aka Lucas Socek. And Matis is actually playing against Gargromet Topkin, aka Targaryen. And let's open the tables. It sure is going to be very interesting. I will try to resize them in a way that you will be able to see all three at once, hopefully. Not sure if I can do it somehow, for I want the clocks to be visible as well. It's a bit weird to resize these tables, but I will try it. Okay, there should be one more. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of this website, but it is what it is. Euroleague is played here, so I guess I don't have much of a choice. I'm not really sure how to position these. Okay, maybe like this. One of the games is already ongoing. We have Ancient Dragon and Mika. Mika pulled this opening. It's an old opening. I'm pretty sure Igor is going to find some swap too. And maybe we'll take his time. Finally, Ashot took his place. So in the very first round, we have captain versus captain as well. Whilst Matis put one of his very most favorite openings. Actually, maybe some words about Matis. He has been inactive for the last probably half year due to some personal reasons. But it's very nice to see him being back, and I'm wondering how well he can do tonight. Here, Boneslash put a scheme or a scheme looking opening, and Ashot will probably try to find a swap too. And let's just get back to the first one that has started first. Ancient Dragon, aka Igor, has already put his swap to, and now Lomakin is thinking which color to choose. There are several good possibilities for white to start after this swap 2, I would say. I think this move on the I7 is an option. Then again, this is my preferred move on the right side of the board. And on the left side, there are like 2-3 moves that would be possible, I think. Mikla chose a very aggressive move, and there's a good chance he chose a very good move. And now Igor is in trouble. He has to find a way to stay alive in the opening phase, because white already has a lot of ways to connect the stones. This black and this black is pretty much far away. Igor will need to find something. None of these moves, he can't directly connect his stones, because white has easy countering moves which prevent black from further expanding the attack. Hence black has to defend first in the position, and I'm just thinking what move could possibly help Igor here. He can't also play anything too broad. He will need to play something around here that keeps him alive. But I can't seem to find a good move with black. So I will leave this task to Igor. Oh, in the meantime, Gaurgromet Topkin successfully converted the opening into a Ranju theory, in which definitely he has the advantage from Ranju theory's perspective, and on the other hand, it's black advantage, so Matis should be the one to attack, and it's up to him how good he can attack, whether he can keep tempo or not. Typically, he should be able to exploit this. But of course, Georg is a talented player. He sure knows some very strong lines from his range theories, and we shall see how he thinks he can defend this. Matis is currently thinking on where to start his attack. In the match where the captains play, where Ashot and Boneslash are playing, we can see a swap to this stone, and this stone was the swap to originally, and Bone picked black color. Ashot played a defensive move, Bone played an aggressive one, and Ashot was very quick to rush to defense, but I'm not really sure this was actually a good decision by him to play like this, because he might get surrounded real quick that way. Bone is very aggressive, immediately going for a direct connection on the attack already, and maybe he will just go here on g5. As I see in the chat right here, Sandra passes her greetings to the viewers. Hi Sandra. Back to the game. Boneslash played g5 actually, and as you can see, white cannot start an attack here, because black can easily block here and then expand here, and that will be quite bad. So right now this is a rather easy winning position for Lukas Socek. I'm pretty sure he will be able to exploit it, unless in the rare scenario where he is rushing and actually not thinking through his moves. But to be fair, if there is no direct win here, which might happen, but I think there is a direct win, playing on h5, then I think the block will come from here, right? Yes. J5 comes from white, then you can maybe expand here, but there is no need of that, because white cannot connect any of its stones. Black can even go up, attack up, above, and link their stones here, create some diagonal connection, link it back here with the below stones. This is just way too powerful for black. Let's take a look at the other tables where there's some action as well. Igor chose this move to block, and after that Lomakin quickly chose to block here. Igor blocked here. Mikko played these three, and now he has the task of solving this position, but it's not going to be as easy as he may think. He has still 4 minutes left, Igor a little less than 3, and the Russian player needs to find a strong combination. Whilst the Estonian player and the Latvian player are very quickly advancing forwards, it appears that Matis is gaining advantage. White seems to be pretty surrounded. I'm not really sure how Georg can get out of this. They are relatively equal on time, but now Georg needs to be very precise. Matis has all the advantage, as if missing half a year would mean nothing. He is just attacking, he has the positional advantage, he has all the advantage possible, he has tempo, he has everything. Let's see if Georg can somehow save this game. Oh, and Lukas Socek chose a very interesting move, age 11. This is very beautiful, I like it very much. It took him more than 2 minutes to find this move. And I'm wondering how Ashot will try and block it. He cannot forget about these stones at all. So due to that, for example, he can't just play anything here. He has to be very mindful of these stones. I don't even think that this is defendable, but maybe Ashot can find something in the remaining 2 minutes of his time. And here it looks like Igor played this defensive tree, after which probably the Russian player is going to block in the middle, because if he blocked here, black could go and block here, and it would be a harder position, a much harder position than white blocking here. Because if white blocks here on I-10, black cannot expand the attack anywhere, and white will have the initiative to create something right here on this upper part and also on the left part of the board. So black would technically need to defend two sides of the board, which obviously is not really possible. So due to that, I'm pretty sure Mikhail Lomakin is going to choose I-10 as his block. Oh wow, but there's a blunder. He did not block the tree. He played another tree, and Igor Agat takes first blood. He took the first point in the match. 1-0 to the White Dragons. That's very surprising to me. I kind of missed it, but Matis played some fast offense here on the right side and quickly finished the game. So indeed, Georg had no way out of there, and unfortunately lost the game. So it's 1-1. Oh, and Ashot also chose his defensive move. Ukasocek is playing a direct combination. Maybe he sees something already. Apparently, there's an interesting combination, but I'm not sure it's actually winning because this block can be considered if black tries to play this 4, this 3, then this 3 maybe. Actually, that's a wrong order, so this 3 has to be the last one because you don't want a stone here. But the other problem for black, if he plays this line first, it wants to avoid being overlined, of course. So Bonsush has to carefully consider his options and only then choose something. And here it seems like Lomakin chose white color in Igor's opening. This is a very good opening. It was invented by Czech world champion of 2019, Martin Muzica. And this is actually a positional opening. It has no theory to it. You have to play positional moves, respecting the space. It's a series of complicated moves and can be played in a couple of ways. And I think that the move that Lomakin chose is not really that advantageous. So probably Igor should have the upper hand in this game. Let's see how well he knows the opening theory. On the third board, Gargrom Topkin with black pieces is going for the attack, but maybe he should rather find a positional move because there's no very strong direct combination, I think. So let's see how he ends up choosing. And in the meantime, Bonslish is executing his attack. Ashot is in time trouble, half a minute remaining for him. There are multiple ways to play this. Bonslish has to be really careful. White has ways to come back into this. There's a counter VCF threat that cannot be ignored. But when Bonslish is attacking, does he have a win there? Can Bonslish win this? Actually, I think very much so because there is this VCF connection. So as it appears, Bonslish is going to execute that VCF and take this point and thus take the lead in the match. Oh, actually, there was another VCF which he chose to play. And that means current score is 2-1. After the first games of the first round. Igor is playing some very fast moves. I'm not really sure this is the advantage he desired to have, or he actually should have. That's a little sad. I'm not really sure if Igor is hoping on his opponent overlooking another open tree or what. but he should respect his tempo a bit more because he completely lost the tempo, and now white will be able to attack. And here Georg is attacking, but can he continue it? Maybe this move could be interesting for black here. E6. That would create offensive chances for both the left side of E column with d5 or maybe f5 if the block comes from another side. Matis will have to be rather careful there. And actually e6 is being played. Georg has 2 minutes 41 seconds remaining. Matis over 4.5 minutes. And now he has to be very careful where he blocks this. Black is threatening. I don't think black has enough to win this game. For now, of course. But definitely threatening. Black has tempo, and if played well, Garruk may actually win this game. Whilst you can see, as I've said, Igor is forced to defend here, and it's already not very good for him. Probably, what White should do is maybe play this four, if need be. I'm not convinced it's needed. A little calculation would be needed, whether the four is needed or not. But most probably, I would play this four, then play this three, and then go back up, and then later on connect the stones here. That seems like the best possibility for now. Maybe this move is actually already possible because black can't attack here due to the block. So due to that reason, maybe I would already go on I5. And now let's take a moment and check the swap 2 played by Lucas Socek. Wow, that's a very interesting way of swap 2ing, and I can't say it's bad. It's definitely some swap 2 that he actually thought over. So for those that are not familiar with Lucas Socek, he is one of the most chilled, not just players, but people I ever met in my life. He is almost always happy, very relaxed, fun to be around, and of course, that you can see on his games, because a lot of times he does not care about the result, he does not care about anything. Even when the time control is like 1 hour or 2 hour, he makes moves in like seconds. And now he sacrificed 2.5 minutes of his 7 minutes playing this swap 2, and that shows you perfectly just how much he takes this match seriously and wants his team to win. And that is something that impresses me. And maybe some words now about the swap 2 itself. I think it might be balanced, of course. So the original theory for this opening would be, if I'm not mistaken, L6 or maybe J8, not sure whether they are equivalent or not. Now after the swap 2, Probably white should go somewhere here around this area, and then try to play positionally well, try to surround black, push black to the lower parts, and later on in like 20-30 moves connect with the stone from the original opening on k7. That should be the strategy. Ashot picked white color, played on e6. Let's see how Bonsush answers it. I think he might just go on e7. I think e5 is a bit too passive. I think e5 leaves too many chances to be surrounded. Because now g5 is going to come, and what can you do after g5? You would have to play very, very precisely to survive after that. But maybe Bone Slash has a plan. And apparently it looks like I5 was played. Okay, cool. It's it's very interesting. I think that there is no way Lomakin can lose this game. Should be no way possible. I mean, Black has to block this one move win, right? There's a direct threat there. And even if that's blocked, there's just so much space here to connect the stones. There's a lot of space. I think the key here is to keep threatening without being too direct. That means don't use too much of your resources, but also keep threatening. So, for example, some indirect threats such as I4 could be played. Also, something that can be exploited here, H3 is very close to the edge. Thus, black can even be surrounded even more. I mean, Igor did not have a lot of moves possible, of course, given the fact that there was a one move threat here. Mikhail Lomakin has half a minute remaining. That's very interesting. Can he find anything here? I don't want to say big things, but I think I would just play J6 because it looks very tempting to play J6. Now this move playing H4, this is what I was talking about. Being not too direct, don't waste your resources. Now black gains a little space back. And now black can go below, then white has to block, and black can survive. Oh, why above? I'm not sure of that. I'm not really sure of that because now there's just a quick win. Just play this indirect move. Mikhail is playing very, very directly. But obviously there's a white win. I think Igor rushed with over a minute. I don't understand that. And maybe let's focus on the third table a little bit now. Matt is below 20 seconds trying to find defense. Georg is above 30 seconds, 38 to be exact, pushing forward without a win on the board. So he has to respect his space as well. He has to find something, maybe play a bit here, maybe try to use that on the H column there is an overline. That could be a plan. And maybe just try something, find something there, play a bit positionally, don't get stuck here. This white stone, they are out, as you can see. In the meantime, Lomakin won the game, thus the scoreline is 2-2. Georg below 10 seconds. And the misclick by Mattes. Georg is not noticing his open 4. Why is he not playing his open 4? Wow, well, what a dramatic turnover. That makes it 3-2 for the Dragons. That is There is an unfortunate mistake by the Latvian player in time trouble. I wasn't expecting that. I think nobody was expecting that, but wow, dramatic. What a move by Lukas Socek. That's more than ambitious. Holy, he played J8 in this position. I mean, he must be pretty sure that White not only cannot win here on the left side, but also he has to be very sure that he can block every single attempt of White on the right side. And that's just ballsy. That's very cocky by him. I don't know. I would need to calculate a little bit, but I'm pretty sure there should be a combination that enables White to snatch this game. However, Ashot is on 20 seconds and bonus 20 seconds to 3 minutes, and I like this move. This was my first idea, I7. Let's see if he can make it. Bone has 2.5 minutes remaining. He needs to find a defensive move here. I'm wondering which one. There's not a lot of options. The move was way too ballsy by him, I think. Oh, and he plays this move. It's incredibly aggressive and of course losing because as Ashot played here, it's a clear win. Bone maybe wanted to block here above, but then it enables a 2-move VCR for White, and if he blocks in the middle, there's a 1-move here, 1-move win here by a 3x3. And that is going to make the scoreline equal after the first round. 3-3 with both, actually not both, all three pairings ending up with 1-1. That's very exciting. I can't wait to see the continuation of this match. That is terrific so far. 2 more rounds of this exciting drama. I'm really curious who will be able to snatch this win. Or will there be a draw? It's also possible. I think there have been no draws this season. Actually, I can check that real quick. But I'm pretty sure there were no draws. Yes, no draws. Also not in the current round, I suppose. Yes. So that means if this match ends up with a draw, it would be the first in the season. And anyways, draws are relatively rare in these EuroLeague matches. But after this first round, I think there's an excellent chance of seeing one. What do you guys think? Everyone that's watching, who do you think can win this match? What are your expectations? Who is going to be the MVP tonight? Who can make the difference? Personally, I think all 6 players are capable of making the difference. So it's very hard to predict. I'm not quite sure I can forecast the end of this match. But that's only good because it only means that it's going to be very exciting. Let's see the next pairings. And Ashot is responsible for it. In the meantime, in the Asian team Czech payback match, the captain of the Asian team had to leave. Apparently, a 6 p.m. Central European time start is pretty late for Asians. I mean, in Vietnam it's already 1 a.m. I think. In South Korea it's already 2 a.m. I believe. And let's see, the second round of Mine Infinity Wild Dragons after a very exciting 3-3 in the first round. In the second round we have Lukas Socek playing against Mihailo Makin, Ashot Avetissian versus Gargromet Topkin, and last but not least, Matis Riertz versus Igor Agat. So we have one of the tables already here. I'm gonna try and resize it once again like previously, trying to fit all three of them on the screen, even if I cannot follow all three boards with the speed some of those games are happening. But I sure will try. Okay, maybe like this should be fine. The chat part is anyways not that important. So Lomakin is attempting the same opening as he opened in the very first round against Igor Agat. Perhaps Bonsish will find some more playable swap too. If you have forgotten, in the first game, Lomakin had huge advantage, probably a medium difficulty winning position, I would say. However, overlooked an open three and thus lost with that blunder. Maybe he is going to be more mindful this time. Lukas is thinking on his swap too. Oh, Igor Aged is trying the opening of, I believe it's an opening by Czech talent Jakub Horak, who recently played this opening against Stepan Tesajic in the Czech Gomoku League. I'm pretty sure Matis is going to use a swap too. I don't think he wants to choose. Oh, however, that's not sure about Ashot, who chose very quickly against Gaur in Gaur's opening. So this corner is a very exciting one and very interesting, and Gaurk has played it a lot, analyzed it a lot, because I have been playing this opening with him for a lot of games. And now he can be black. He knows a couple of very nice black lines here. So I believe he should be able to gain tempo after the initial opening phase of this game. Whilst Lukas Socek already decided on the white stone of the swap 2, but is seemingly undecided about the black, but it just arrived. That's a bit far away. I'm not really sure what the plan is. I'm really not sure what the plan is. Also, many things possible here, like Lomakin can easily just choose to give him a white and let him try to find it. But at the same time, I don't think he wants to give him white because the original line of the opening, the main theory, is blocked by the white stone on f4, so maybe something else would be needed. Yes, he was quick to choose white color and play an offensive move immediately. The answer came quickly by Bonslish. I think this swap 2 is not that much of quality this time. Oh wow, and Georg is pushing forwards. Is this a winning attack? Is this not a winning attack? Okay, so let's summarize what we can see here. There is a one move in threat here. There is this diagonal threat with the trees of ECT. However, white has also some lines, so the question here rather is if there is a combination with black that actually wins you the game. Garg is playing very quickly, so I would say that he has analyzed this and he does know there is a win. That apparently is the only thing I can imagine. Although I still think that maybe there was a need of a different order of moves. But apparently I'm wrong because the fact that this has been blocked here means there is a quick win here, I think. I don't see how you can block both sides. This move has to be played. So it looks like white has to play h6 and g2 for a chance in this game. But then there is there? I'm not really sure what is there and what is not there. You would have to calculate these lines. So I'm just gonna wait and see how Topkin reacts on it. And somehow Bonsush is back in this game. It looked terrible for him after the start. It looks rather good for him as of this moment. Owen Matis is being black after a swap 2. Probably he did play a swap 2. And has to now find his way out of there. Which might not be as easy. What can he do? This move is pretty smart by Matis. I believe J4 has to be played and now maybe H3 has to be played. And right now it's again not easy for black. Ashot is still trying to find defense here. I'm wondering what he's gonna do. So H6 he did play. And I believe G2 has to come now. At least I don't see the black win after G2. Oh, but there's a different one. Was there nothing after this move? Maybe there wasn't. But Georg is still very fast. He did learn his lines well, that for sure. Matis is getting more and more surrounded in the corner. He would probably need a miracle to survive that game. That being said, on all three boards, it seems like the Dragons are taking the lead. Lukas Socek has a quick win there. 3 moves till the winning fork. He plays it a tad bit more directly than I would have. But actually, it did not matter at all whether you play in 2 moves, 3. And Lukas Socek wins the first game. Impressive. So his swap 2 did work. Maybe I misjudged that initial position. Okay. Georg is still very fast. I shot already below 1 minute. And is threatening. Georg is threatening him. He has a very good positional advantage seemingly. Can he convert it into a victory? That is the question. On the third board, we can see that Igor has also tempo, but he will need to prepare a proper attack if he wants to defeat Matis, because Matis is an experienced player and half a year break or not, he can defend such positions for sure if you are not playing strong enough lines. Igor usually feels more convenient when he is the one defending, but now if he wants to win this game, he has to be the one attacking. I think there are multiple really nice options for white. I'm fancying J7, J8, I7, but also you can think about L7. It's controlling this white piece. Now this one, I don't like this one at all. It's too close to the other stones. I think white needs to go more into the space. Oh, a quick play here. A very fast move by Bonslich. And I'm not blaming him at all. This is very advantageous for white. And here Ashot is being pushed more and more by Garg. But Garg must be able to convert this into a win. If he cannot do that, it's not worth anything. All the advantage. I'm really liking the move I10. It's fabulous, I would say. So if you look at I10, it has a diagonal connection with L7. So you can expect an attack here on the top right corner. Now, back to I10. It also has a connection with this tree that can be extended into a 4. So there's a VCT here as well. Not to mention, I10 prepares the position for several possible Fukumis. A Fukumi means a kind of move after which there is a possibility of a VCF, and a VCF means victory by continuous force. That is, you are playing only force, which of course your opponent has to block, up until you are reaching the final fork, where you can just play a 4x3 or a 4-4 and thus win the game. So because of that, my favorite move here is I10 because it links both sides. G10 is of course also nice, but it does not link both sides. And I think attacking on 2 fronts is always better, because the more threats your opponent has to deal with, the less chances he can do so. Now, back to this one. Maybe this was a bit rushed by Bonslich. Now the tables are turned, and he finds himself in a position where, after an early advantage, He has to carefully consider his options about the continuation. Of course, it's not that terrible for him just yet. He can still play a bunch of moves are possible for him. First of all, I'm really liking J7 because if black starts an attack here, say on f5, you get a white stone on f4, right? Then the only way to continue is h5, which gives a stone for white on g5, which is a one move VCF here on i7. So this move is countering as black goes forward. Hence, the only thing you have to check for J7 is what about F4 because there's another possibility of attack and that looks more fatal, a little more fatal. But I'm not excluding the option that also that is blockable. So maybe J7 is not the answer, but I think the answer of solving this position lies beneath J7. So maybe some connection has to be found here that is good for both the f5 and the f4 line. And that is the task of Boneslash, who has 3 minutes remaining. And here, Georg is pushing. It looks like he missed to play this 3 for some reason. I mean 4. Play this 4. He may not be able to finish this game. That would be rather sad. Especially that Ashot is under really huge pressure with 6 seconds. The block by Ashot has to come from below, right? As he did. And now in the middle. It's well found by Ashot. And now so many stones being played. I'm not even sure anymore where to play the next black stone in order to keep the advantage. I think a carefully checked E10 can pose enough of a challenge. But again, it's not guaranteed. In the meantime, on the third table, it seems like J6 was indeed not a good enough move. Black is already back in the game, looking drawish. Not after this combination though. But let's forgive Matis, he's in huge time trouble, 6 seconds remaining. Igor pushing 30 seconds. And Matis is trying to block. Can Igor find anything here? It doesn't look like that, to be honest. I don't see any moves that are tricky enough to trap black. Which means if Matis can survive this without a blunder, it could be a draw. And Bonslash chose his line. And Mikla is playing very fast. It seems like he has not much of patience tonight. This is his third game and the third time he's playing relatively fast. Now Georg versus Ashot is rendered to an absolute blitz game where I don't think that either of them will be able to grab enough initiative to finish the game. So there's a good possibility of a draw there as well. Unless, of course, there's a blunder. It can easily happen that Georg is thinking way too much on one of the moves on how to attack and runs out of time. That could easily happen with him. Georg is running out of options. He will need to stop attacking very soon because after a point he's just doing damage to himself. I think that maybe this was... Oh, but there's a blunder! Igor Agado wins the game. That is very surprising. This game on the third board looked like a complete and utter draw. But somehow Igor got lucky once again and won the game. Poor Matis. So maybe those 6 months did not pass by without leaving a mark. And Georg blunders as well. Overseas an open 3 and Ashot wins. Holy, this match is insane. It's absolutely insane. So that means Mind Infinity has, I think, 4 points, and the Wild Dragons have 5, I think. Wow, very interesting. Oh, but look at that. Lomakin seems to have stabilized the position. Now let's see if he's greedy or not. He can choose a defensive move, which I think he should. Because, of course, this is the obvious offensive move, but after this white, there is a VCF opportunity by playing J4, then J6, J9, and eventually I8. But Lomakin saw that, and that's why he blocked on J7, which he did well. Very well. And now Bone Slash has to find his way back here, which is not going to be easy. Oh wow. Look at that beautiful swap to by Gaur Gromet Topkin. He must have prepared it in advance, obviously. And now Ashit has to solve it. It may not be easy. I will not waste the time on a stream to solve this. Instead, here it seems there being a quick swap to by Igor, and Matis also quickly chose black, which he tends to do when encountering a swap to he has not seen before. He tends to choose black for some reason unknown to me, but it's just the statistics of him. Oh, but a quick development on the first board. Maybe this is the most interesting now. 45 seconds for both players. Lukas Socek on the move in an offensive position. I don't see a VCF for black. But of course, Boneslash is trying to win the game. And he cannot do that because that winning opportunity is blocked by black. Let's see what Mikla can do about it. That's a nice offensive move by Boneslash. He tries an indirect way that is usually much smarter. Oh, but Ashat played a defensive move here it seems, and Gaurok plays quick moves with black. I'm really curious who's gonna win that one. Lukas Socek has a VCF and finds it, plays it, and wins the game. Well done by the captain scoring both points in this match. That's well done by Lukas Socek. The scoreline is 6 games to 4. White Dragons in the lead. Hmm. Also an interesting setup on the third board. A sharp variant between Matis and Igor Aget. Who can come out as the winner from this one? Sharp games on both tables. Oh, apparently the clocks got weird after the resizing. So Ashot on 2.5 minutes, trying to find the line. More than obviously, he cannot play any of these trees because there is a simple block here with black, threatening with a one move VCF. So basically just a one move win. It's not even continuous force, so it shouldn't be said one move VCF. Anyway, um, this also cannot be played, this tree, because then the block comes here, which does not leave a lot of options, I would say. This move would be very interesting at first, but after this and this, there is no block that I would see. So it's also not a possibility this time. I'm wondering what is a possibility then. Maybe M5 has to be played? At least I don't see any other moves that are not losing immediately. But of course, Ashot needs to decide. Oh, for some reason I was not thinking of that tree. Let's see how the game can develop this way. This looks well thought. Not even sure why I did not consider playing that tree. Obviously it had to be blocked from above, because if you block from here there's just indirect attack here. So you cannot really do that. It appears that Ashot is solving it. And here a quick win by Matis. I'm not even sure what that was. I think there should have been just a simple block. Anyway, it looks like Ashot did manage to solve this position. And if he wins the game, it's 6-6 after 2 rounds, so 3-3 once again. This time both captains taking both points. and the draw 1-1 between Igor and Mates. Georg is impressed by Ashot's virtue of finding K6 in 2 minutes, which is indeed an interesting fact. Well, we arrived to the last round, and the match is still undecided. As a matter of fact, the scoreline is 6-6. So anything can happen in the last 6 games. I'm wondering who will be able to rise above the other one. Definitely interesting. Also, I need something to drink, so I will be back in like 30 seconds. Okay, it appears I did not miss anything. As indicated previously, Ashot is indeed taking several minutes to write the pairings, especially if you have the first two pairings. The last one is obvious if you are not making any substitutions. So I'm not sure why he is always stalling so much, but I'm hoping that he will put the pairings in the chat very quickly. Fingers crossed. In the meantime, maybe I'm just gonna check that one game, one swap to how fast the pro can find the win, because Ashot was damn fast finding the win. At depth 30, program is showing white advantage, but it seems K4 could have been, but sorry, K5 could have been blocked from, so in this position, this actually could have been blocked from below, and that is black win. So Gaurk should have checked this one a little more, because it was winning for him. Finally, the pairings are ready, so let's open the tables and try to organize them in a way that we can see something. This can even be a bit bigger, maybe. Perfect. So it's not a secret. I'm cheering for the Dragons in this matchup, and I'm hoping that they will be able to snatch the win in the last round. And it looks like Ashot still needs another minute. Not sure what takes him 10 minutes about this, but let's hope they are starting soon. Boneslash quickly puts a scheme opening on the board, and it appears it is going to be Matis Rehard's job to find the proper swap to. Or maybe solve it, but I don't think he is going to attempt to solve it. Let's see if Lomakin is sticking to that opening he brought to this match. Once again, it seems he does. So let's see if Topkin has anything prepared for this, or can come up with something interesting on the spot. Just finally, it appears that Ashot's match is also starting, with Igor being the first one to put an opening. He misclicked the white stone. Thus, this is a different variant. But I think that it will not stop Ashot from putting a swap to. Matis has already decided with the white stone and is currently looking for the black one. So it appears we are going to see a swap to win all three of the games. Matis has chosen. Now the next one to choose something is Boneslish. I can't see any quick, easy lines for white. Thus probably I would think a little bit about this. Of course, Boneslish knows the opening theory, so he can think with those stones, of course. For example, if the opening theory move is this one on I-10, It may be possible in this scenario as well. Maybe. But of course, he has to calculate it, think it through. And I'm not sure if there was a swap through here. I think maybe not. After all, it appears Ashot did choose. Ashot seems to be very, very strong in the Euroleague. We are hoping that sometime in the near future he is going to be able to attend a live tournament as well. For he has not yet, but he has played some live games with one of the most known Ranchu players and also a teacher, Dmitry Epifanov, who is also Russian, just like Mikhail Lomakin, who is going to choose probably white once again after Georg's swap 2. I think that this move G9 is advantageous with white. It looks not bad at all. But maybe a different approach can be considered as well. Mikhail has to calculate a bit. And it appears to me that Boneslash did pick black. So Matis has to find a way to make this all disruptive playable with white. Which might not be easy. It seems that Ashut is already in a rather advantageous position. Oh, Lomakian sides with a direct approach. Can this be the answer in this game? I'm wondering. Oh wow, what a move by Boneslish. Look at that. This guy just keeps attacking all night long. He does not want to defend for 1 second. He's just playing these epic moves, I would say. Almost as if he was trying to humiliate his opponent. I don't know, but it of course it looks strong, and I'm not sure what Matis can even attempt to do, but that does not cancel out the fact that it does look kind of humiliating that Boneslash keeps playing such moves. On the third board, some quick moves once again, and Ashut obviously and absolutely has Temple. Maybe there are some lines for black to come back to this, but I would say rather not. I don't know how Igor could save this. So I'm thinking most likely Ashut's gonna play 8-6. Then black's gonna play 8-7. White goes on J5. And after those three moves, basically black is dead. There's not enough space left in the corner to create anything, and there's no stones for black in the main central area, with white is on the outside as you can see. Black is stuck here. Black is absolutely stuck there. Igor is playing quick moves, but there's no chance there. I also think this is generous by Ashut to play this block, because he could have already went for g5 to be fair. Wow, that's that's also really cocky. Like, Matis did play here? As Bosler's blocked there? Why not insta go there? Maybe that wasn't good enough? I don't know, man. Very abstract. I love it. That's really nice. It's absolutely impressive. So offensive, so nice. It's a joy to watch that one. Georg is on 1 minute trying to repulse the offensive waves of Mikhailo Makin, who is in a relatively comfortable offensive position. The following moves can be considered. H9, which is most likely going to be blocked on E6. After that, White can move on with E9, go back up, play the 3, and play a move here, for example. If that works, it's good. If it doesn't work, then something else is needed. That H9 is not the answer. This is the line Lomakin has to think through now. A quick development here. Boneslish ended up getting overlined there, as you can see. And does he have a way to continue this? Or am I blind because I don't see how he can continue this? So maybe his only option is to go back to defense. And that is just extreme. And here Ashut is in huge positional advantage. Igor is absolutely stranded there, suffocating in the corner. Oh, and Mikla did play h9, so he may see a combination good enough to go for a direct combination. Unfortunately for the Slovakian player, it appears there is no win as expected in the corner. What can he do then? Probably the best Igor could do is going back to defense. I don't see any other way for him. I really don't. The best he can do maybe is play n5, block comes from above, then you play m7, block comes in middle, you play here. Now maybe you play the 4, but then again, so many extra stones, and then you will not be able to block anything here because the position is just way too powerful. And Mika did find an interesting direct combination and is progressing towards winning the game. But I just don't like this one move. Why was this move played? Why is this good for him? I can't figure that one out. There does not seem to be a logical aspect to that. Bolsish is in trouble. He has to find his way out of there, and it's not being easy for him. And Mat is on 5 seconds though. It's sharp. It's very tight. Lukas Socek has to defend here. This is a must. This 3 is a must for him. But then, after this 3, White goes here. No, White cannot go here. So White has to go here. There will be no continuation. What is happening? This match is very, very dramatic. And as I've said, this move was not good enough. J13 is J12, sorry, is just not good enough. Garuk made the block on G12 and now is comfortably saving the position. He only has to watch out for his clock. I believe that was maybe not even a necessary... Oh, but Bolsage gave him a draw? Wow. He did give him a draw. He gave him a draw when he had a VCF? Unbelievable. I mean, okay, yes, sure, Matis misclick, but there is a 1, 2, 3, 4 moves VCF. Holy cow. That's unbelievable to me. In such an intense position, in an intense match where every half point matters, he dropped that. I don't understand. Oh wow, but a prepared swap to by Lomakin, it seems. And I'm sorry, I have to check what the first game was because Bonsa showed me. So Garuk won. Apparently, Garuk did win the first one. Wow. Unbelievable. And Bonsa does have a little prepared swap too. A bad choice of opening by Matis. In the meantime, it seems like Ashot failed to win that position, and Igor is back in the game defending in a drawish position. Of course, White still has tempo, and let's be honest, Black has barely any chances of winning this game if we strictly look at the position. Maybe there can be a blunder, but of course, such moves are not really fortunate where White overlines itself. But it's tight. It's gonna be very tight. It could be very easily a draw. Oh, and I think Georg was very, very quick to choose there. Not sure why. He had 7 minutes to choose the winning color. Come on, man, you have to use it. Ashot is threatening on the lower parts of the board. Has a relatively good attack. Let's see if the Slovakian player can deal with it. And he overlines himself once again. Someone go tell him 6 is not a winning Gomoku. The game is heading to draw. I can't imagine anything other than a blunder winning in this position. There are so many stones on the board. This is a bit chaotic. Look at this. A prepared swap to here, a prepared swap to there. So many overlines here. What's going on? And the scoreline is 7.5, 6.5 for the Dragons. Wow. What's going on? Will Igor try to push for a win? No, he offers draw. Ashot accepts. Thus the scoreline is 8-7 for the Dragons. Unbelievable match. Fabulous. Now both teams can show their fighting spirits as we're turning on to the last three games. In two of them we could already see a prepared swap too. Bonsush is really quick. He is really quick. Is he winning though? That's my only question. Matis was also rather quick to choose color there. I don't know, it's my personal opinion. You may disagree with me, but if you are facing a swap to that looks like a scheme, you are ought to use most of your time on solving it. Because you can choose quickly, but if it's not a well reasoned choice, then what you're gonna do? You can then spend all of your time in a losing position. It's too late. You have to use your time until you can use it. As long as you're not in a losing position, that's when you have to use your time. Well, anyways, it appears that Georg seemingly converted it into some corner position, which means he can survive. Igor Agat had a very defensive idea seemingly against Ashot, as Ashot is probably 99% going to choose black, and then Igor has to defend in a hard position with three blacks very close to each other and two whites relatively far from each other. Let's see though what the Latvian is doing on the first table. Okay, Bonsush played this move, which does leave some lines for white. but I'm not convinced it leaves any strong lines for white, and it's the beginning of surrounding. If white goes for an attack anywhere here and there's no win, it's practically surrounded. Now let's take a look at this one. Here Georg has to block above. He had to go up, I think. At least I'm not really sure how he's gonna block here now. I mean, this white move should be enough. White definitely has tempo, but let's see. Matisse found a nice, smart way, but let's see if it's enough. He realized he cannot start an attack anywhere up there, so he's trying to start one here. And I think that's a blunder by Bone. At least this move should have aimed to prepare this win here. After this one, black can go above, but white blocks here, black has to block one of the sides. After that, 4, 3, 3, 3, no block. So I'm not really sure what the plan is. And here, a move by Igor here, which is likely followed by a move somewhere here. At least that looks most sensible. Asha just needs to choose which one to play. And Matis did launch his attack. A block right there. However, I think this move. Okay, maybe not this one because of the 3. Oh, is it enough? That was my first idea, but I'm not sure with the 3 if it's working or not. It may as well be working. What a tense match this match really does live up to the expectations. So Georg is slightly above a minute. Mikhailo Makin around 2.5 minutes. Having tempo attacking. In my opinion, not choosing the best attacks. But right now Georg is also not choosing the very best blocks. Example, if you look at this one, black has nothing. Black cannot create anything. So white can just easily go here to Beispiel or anywhere around this area. And Matis takes the point here. So that means it's 8-8. It's 8-8. Matis rears equalized. And Igor is in some trouble. Georg also in some trouble. So how will this end? Is Mind Infinity going to turn the tables around and win the match? Okay, Garuk tries to defend there, but positionally, there's not a lot he can do. Most probably, he is going to attempt to play on g5, at least he should, to at least gain a little bit of position back, and then block for his life. That's the only thing I can imagine as black. Okay, both players around 40 seconds. I don't think Igor will be very much able to save this position. It's looking hopeless. But Georg does have some chances. Maybe he is a better blitz player. That can help him here. But that's the only thing that can help him, probably. I think it's really time for the g5. After g5, white will block something. And then you can go above. And later on maybe try to win on the right side of the board. Only thing I can imagine. Seemingly Garruk does have other plans. And he may be not seeing g5 or wanting to use it later. But I'm not sure how long he can procrastinate using it. At least now he has to use it. On 5 seconds. He is still not using it. Okay, he overlined his opponent, but has to move something. 5 seconds. He's playing a very dangerous game. And he wastes too much time and is running out of time. Holy, that's 9-8. Wow. Wow. That's there's just no way. That's a ridiculous turnover. Look at that. Ashot finds the win, and Mind Infinity is winning 10 points to 8 against the Wild Dragons. Unbelievable. That's unbelievable. What a turnover. I was absolutely not expecting that. But props to Mind Infinity for fighting all along and eventually making it come true. I think Ashot scored probably 5 points today. That's it's a little hard to believe. But of course, due to the system of the Euroleague from this season, there is a 7 rounds of base season and 2 rounds of playoff. So the Dragons will have another chance to fight back, but they have to swallow this pill. They lost this match now. It's a little bit unreal because they were so close to winning it, and then just Boneslash misclicks his swap to or whatever. It's unbelievable. Holy, holy. Okay, guys, it was an exciting 2 hours, almost 2 hours by now. Thank you all for tuning in. I think that for most of the time there were at least 6 viewers, which is pretty cool, I think, for such a long stream. Uh, of course, given the circumstances, given the fact that it's Gomoku and not something mainstream. So I'm very appreciative of you all who stayed here for the entire time or for almost the entire time. And hopefully see you soon. Tomorrow's Monday, so brace yourselves for the upcoming week. Good night.